Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Homeroom Lending Podcast. Today, we're joined by my co-host, Kearney Fontanez.
Hi.
And our special guest, Alexis.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, Alexis. Thank you for joining us today. So, Alexis, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do as a real estate agent, how long you've been doing it, what do you love about it?
Okay. Well, I'm with Keller Williams in Massapequa. I've been an agent since the end of 2020, so still a little fairly new, but I kind of just hit the ground running. I love real estate.
Okay.
Like, I don't know how else to say it, but like I genuinely love real estate. I'm big on family.
Awesome.
So for me, when like COVID hit and everyone was home and things like that, my biggest thing was, what can I do? And everyone, I mean, obviously the housing market blew up at that point because everyone wanted a bigger place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Interest rates were low, so everyone was buying at the time. But for me, being with my family, you know, it's kind of like your little safe haven, like where you are. And for me, that's so important. So who I am as a person kind of just flowed into the business.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm a mom of two, so I'm, you know, I like to be available for my kids, but I need that work side. Like, I need that, you know.
Yeah, so it's
The
it's
challenge
a good,
of the deal, everything, working with people.
Yeah, and I love working with people. I love helping people. It's always been kind of like my thing. So yeah, I really just...
That's awesome.
Yeah, I kind of just flowed right into it, and like I fell in love. As corny as
Yeah.
that
No, believe me, I get it. Because
You have
you
to
really
love
do
it.
have
Yeah,
to
you
love
do,
it.
absolutely.
Right? We say it all the time. You have to
But
love
the
it.
stress that comes with it, if you don't love it, you're going to be miserable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so
So, I
true.
mean, I can tell already that you're going to be, or you are. I mean, you're successful. That you're going to be even bigger. I mean, because you're, you know, for you to love it, right?
Yeah.
That's like the key. I think
It
that's
is.
a huge part
you
of
have
being
to love
good.
it, and when you love real estate, it's
magic.
You become a little bit more patient with it.
Right.
So when you do have the issues, you have the buyers who are discouraged. I love showing houses. I could be out all day, every day, showing. Like, I never get tired of it. I love hosting open houses.
Right.
Wow.
So to me, it's just like, come on, like, let's go have fun. Like, it's fine. Like, let's just go look at these houses anyways. Like, it's okay. You don't have to make a commitment. Like, let's just go.
Right.
And
because, you know, it's nice to go see, you know, all these different houses. And, you know, I've done it too, you know, because I'm a realtor as well.
Okay.
And, I mean, I do mortgages, you know, 95% of the time. But,
99.
but I have, you know, shown buyers. And it's exciting going into other people's homes.
No, it's fun. And especially,
it really
you know,
is.
For people my age, I'm at the age now where everyone's starting to buy a house.
Yes.
So you get, you know, like the newlyweds, and you know they're going to grow their family, and they're really excited. And it's funny when, like, you're showing a house and, like, the wife kind of hints, like, I want 5 kids. And you see the husband's face, like, wait, what?
Wait, what?
Yeah, like, it's just
The
fun.
truth comes out.
Yeah.
The real plan.
Yeah, definitely.
Funny.
Yeah, but that's good. That's
You're
nice.
very lucky because I've seen a lot of your, you know, your social media things that you've been putting out. Like, you do a lot of videos. I love the way you have it laid out. I mean, is that something that you've been developing ever since you got into real estate?
Ever since I started, yes, that's been a huge goal of mine. So think, like, millennials right now are the biggest buyers.
Right.
Where are they? On
On
Instagram.
All day, yeah.
On Instagram.
Absolutely.
So when you go to an Instagram page and it's nothing but pictures, it's like, okay, cool. Like, you know, you read through a couple, whatever, and then, like, you kind of lose interest. When you have videos where you kind of get a feel of who the person is, it's almost like you know them before you meet them.
You met them,
Right.
yeah.
So I want people out there to kind of know how I explain things, the knowledge that I have. It's building rapport without having to individually build rapport with individual people.
Yes.
It kind of does the work ahead of time. And I really just love, like, I like to put the value out there. Even if you're not using me as an agent, you come across one of my videos and you learn something new.
Exactly.
Then I know I did something.
Right.
You know?
Wow.
That's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's exactly
and my first
it.
house was actually, I was my first buyer. It was me and my fiance. We were buying our first investment property. I had no clue. So it, like, even down to, like, lock boxes.
Right.
I would literally tell him, like, okay, like, I have no idea how to open a lockbox.
Right.
Like, it was that simple.
Right, exactly.
But, like, we did, like, the home inspection. It was my very first home inspection. I did a video. And I kind of explained. So as I was learning, I would
You
get in
were
front of the
trying
camera
to-
and re-explain it.
Right.
And from there, last year I had 3 buyers alone just from my Instagram videos.
Wow,
Right.
that's amazing.
Yeah, so, like, brand new.
Right.
Just because I like to help people, I like to explain it, and they kind of had a feel of what I was doing already and saw that I was busy,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
What were you doing before? What was your...
So before that, I was in facility maintenance. So it was a little bit different, but I kind of am able to relate it because, you have issues like plumbing, HVAC, lighting. I kind of have a general gist of, like, how it works. So it kind of helps, like, seeing the condition of a home. And then before that I worked at Capital One.
Oh, okay.
So I have banking. So it's a little bit more of building relationships and trust with people with, financial decisions that's not
big.
easy at first.
No.
People don't trust you.
Exactly. Yeah, it is.
No, you got to build that rapport. You have to be able to make people feel comfortable to work with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's
and
a huge.
trust you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. When I started at the
biggest
bank,
thing.
they would come up and see that I was like a new teller. They're like, no. I'm like, I don't want my transaction with her because I was new. So you kind of have to.
Wow.
I'm used to that kind of rejection. That at this point, and years ago, I even did like telephone surveys. No one could reject me harder than these people on the phone. So to me, like door knocking is like. I don't care. Like, I could be like, rejection is nothing now.
Right.
Yeah. Brush it off your shoulder. They don't know who I am personally, so it's like, what does it matter?
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
well,
good.
you have I feel like you have all the key elements, and qualities of becoming, not just in sales, but becoming super successful in real estate. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of just
fell in, like,
flowed
naturally
right into it. And
that's
I
good.
love it.
Organically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You found your home.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, no pun intended.
Yeah. That's great.
Oh, it's funny, yeah. Like,
yeah, that's great. And you have 2 kids, so
Gilmore.
which is a great
It's very
career.
relatable.
Yes, absolutely. It really is.
Anybody can relate to Happy Gilmore?
Oh, yeah.
And find getting your home.
Yes.
The wall. Nah.
He always has these little...
I'm not a big movie person.
He always
fall
says
asleep.
movies.
Yeah, I fall asleep in movies. So to me, it's like, I don't go to the movies because I'm paying for a nap. Right. So to me, it's like, yeah.
I mean, this is an old, like, I guess it's an old movie now from Adam Sandler where he's like, I think most of us remember it when, he's trying to get the golf ball in the hole and then he's like, this is your home. Get in your home. And I'm like, we have to bring that Steve producer and put that as
that's cool.
As a vid or a skit or something.
That would be funny.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a cool one.
That's good. Yeah.
So Alexis, what's been something that you feel like for new agents, this coming from you probably better than anybody else, that sometimes when you've been doing this for a long time, you kind of forget some of the things you did in the beginning that made you successful or got you to a certain point. Like, what's something that you would tell future real estate agents and people that are interested in the industry? What would you tell them, like, about what to expect? What are some of the things that you did that really worked for you?
It's not easy at first. You don't hit the ground with people calling you to sell you a house. Right. It doesn't happen that way. Yeah, exactly. When I first got my license, it was like, okay, I have no idea how to sell a house. Like, they don't teach you that in the course, so you really have no idea. So the best thing you could do is meet people in your office. Surround yourself with people who are doing better than you. Yeah, 100% is the best thing you can do. Yeah. Host open houses. That's really how I started. I was hosting other agents' listings. And I didn't say it was mine. Just I know some people will like kind of say as if it's their offices. Right. I'm hosting an open house. I meet buyers that way. And I just put it out there and try to stay as busy as possible, because the more you're into it, the more return you get.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, no, we live it. We live it. It's like
it's true. You have to. It
never ends.
It's constant.
Yeah, because you're self-employed. I mean, it's a big 100%. Leap from, and I think that's why I feel like most people, when they find that they get into a role or a position where they can be autonomous, right, and have that like that factor of being accountable for what you're doing, it's empowering because it's all for you. And so you go from, like, when you're working a 9 to 5 or you're working a job where it's not your business, it's not for you per se as far as your personal growth, and you go into a position like a real estate agent or even a loan officer. I think even real estate agent's harder because you guys don't have you guys don't get salaries. You guys are in completely
wild.
Yeah,
it's 100%. You know, in banking, there's other things that can be worked out with people to get them some sort of a stipend and things like that. But on your end, you make a transition from a 9 to 5 into the job, and then you flourish. It's because you're an entrepreneur. You know, that's where you were supposed to be.
It goes from 9 to 5 to 24.
27. Yeah, but 100%. It's so much. But
so
people think that you work more, which you do, but it's just
It's just different.
Just
work.
a different type of work.
Like work.
It doesn't feel like work.
Right.
Exactly. So it's not work anymore. It's joyful, and you're really building your craft. I mean, it's something that is for the people out there that are looking for something like that. It exists, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
You hit the ground. Not everybody. I know people that have been doing this I know real estate agents have been doing it for a few years, 3, 4, 5 years, and they still need help. They still need help in general. Just doing things that I could tell already that you're doing on your own. You know,
Which
that
is
you
great.
hit the ground. You don't have a you don't work on a team. You're not with a team or anything like that. That in itself, it says a lot because most people need a team to be in the business and be successful. Like that's for them to become independent. Because your next step is become a real estate broker.
Right.
Start your own team and build.
Yep.
So since you already have that ability on your own, you could pass that on to other people.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like another reason why I do like a lot of the videos that I do too, because it just, why keep the knowledge to yourself? Like, what is that going to do?
Right.
It's not people, it's not like people pay me for the advice. It's advice. Like, why be stingy like that,
Right.
Yeah. It's great.
That's what Kim is, but in real life, people come up to her all the time asking her questions about this and that.
Yeah.
Strangers I've never seen. They just walk into our office and it's like,
They're like, Kim?
It's like, I'm looking for Kim.
yeah, one time they're looking for me to get me out of my desk or something. Or like, hey, you lost something. You owe me something.
It's funny, but I mean, it's what we're here for, so everybody can learn. And I like it. I'm always a teacher.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's the thing with us, right? Like, so the Homeroom Lending Podcast is for us is a way to get information out there about not just what the mortgage is, or what the process, or what the real estate process is, but the life that we live in doing this, right? Like as entrepreneurs, the things that we see out there, the experiences. Because a lot of people I know that try to get into the business and they fall right out. It's most people, I say 90% of the people. But you're a perfect example of someone that came in, rocked it, and you still rock it, and you love it. And you love it.
I do. I love it.
But that's amazing.
That's really, I think from the very beginning, that's important.
It.
Yeah.
You really do have to love it.
You gotta love it.
You do.
There's people that come in the industry, like you said, and they don't love it.
They don't love it even for the beginning.
Yeah, it's stressful. It can be very stressful.
Oh, yeah.
And if you can't handle it, you're done.
Yeah, it's really not for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is, especially when you're busy.
Yeah.
Listen, when you're slow, anybody can take, okay, you have a,
can
loan
things.
here, a client here, you can manage it. But when you get busy, forget it. And now your loans, there's problems, this, that, that's.
And you have to handle it all with a smile.
Exactly.
You have to.
That's
You
right.
can't bring a mess of one deal into the next one because they might be having, you don't want to give the attitude to the wrong person or take it out on the wrong person. It's you really have to be able to manage your emotions.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
In this business. Yeah, I mean, to be an entrepreneur, you have to when you're independent and at the level that you're working at, it's a lonely road for many people because it's you're doing your own thing out there. It's not like you're always in a group trying to get things done. It's really
no
comes from you.
No one's gonna force you to work.
Right.
You don't have a boss saying, "Hey, you showed up late today," or "Hey, I haven't seen you in a couple of days. Are you okay?" If you don't do it yourself, it's not going to get done.
It's not going to get done. Yeah,
not going to get done.
Right. It's extreme accountability you have to have in order to be able to get up every day and do the job, I think.
Yep.
But since you love it, I mean, I love what I do. I love the mortgage industry. I know Kim loves it. It's like it's like her second language.
It really is.
Yeah, it's like, and we get a lot of clients that where we have the opportunity to teach them and leave them with our insight, because a lot of the stuff that we have access to, it really just comes from us because from experience we don't, you can't just go on the internet and find insight. You can find information, but you can't find
And every loan
experience.
is just so specific to the client.
Yeah.
You can't get a cookie cutter response for your income, your situation, what you're doing.
Exactly.
It's so different for everyone.
So different.
Absolutely. And that really...
We say that all the time.
Yeah.
It's not, everybody wants, like, you might get an FHA loan, you might get a conventional loan, you might get a reverse. I mean, there's so many different types of loans that, nobody's going to have the same. When people say, oh, I got a 3%, how come, my cousin is saying she got a 2?
It's different. Yeah,
it's different.
different parameters.
Absolutely.
And until you sit with a lender, you don't really know what's best for you to begin with, because there's so many behind the scenes, the numbers, the everything. Yeah, like you really don't know what product to go with until you sit with someone.
Exactly.
Yeah, you also have to make sure that when you do sit with someone that's going to be able to explain everything to you. And how many times, I'm sure you get it all the time when you get a client and you ask, so what kind of loan do you have? And they look at you like, what do you mean? Now there were different types of loans.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm just approved for this amount. That's it.
Yeah, they don't even know how much closing costs to expect or what a down payment. Like, it's just sometimes you literally, oh yeah, I got a pre-approval with who, where, for what, and you kind of get into the details and you realize like they didn't have a conversation with like with that lender. So
exactly.
Since I got in the business, it's been 5 years now, and I keep hearing the same thing. It hasn't changed. Changed, and I'm sure it's been like that from before. Forever, yeah. So that's something that we're trying to buck the trend on, where we want to be able to, put out the right information out there, so that you're in the right mortgage, the right loan for you. You could want an FHA, but really the conventional mortgage is the one that really fits your financial needs and your financial scenario. Where a lot of times, if you don't know what it even is, how would you even know that it's for you?
Yeah, and how do you trust the person across the table that they're giving you the best product?
Exactly. That's a whole different world. Listen, we work with a lot of Hispanics. I don't know if you've run into a lot of Hispanics in the areas that you cover.
I have, yeah.
Right. So we're Hispanics everywhere, right? Oh, yeah. So they're usually the ones that are most taken advantage of in terms of the language and everything else.
Yeah. I've seen it, and
it's brutal.
It's sad. I've had to help a couple people. Yeah,
you have to kind of, somebody's got to step up. I think I appreciate that first of all, you can't be successful right now in this environment unless you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
it's so true.
You won't last.
No. People can smell a salesman a mile away.
Exactly.
Yes. And if you're not genuine, if you really don't want to help the person, they feel it. It's all about experience.
They feel that intuition tells you right away. It tells you, speaks to you, and you have that weird feeling. But sometimes you have no choice. I feel like a lot of people are cornered into a position like that, where, all right, so this is the lender I have to work with. They said this, and this has to be that way. Where more often than not, it's not the case from what I've seen. I'm just again, the purpose of the podcast for us is to be able to always put out the right information out there so people can educate themselves so they know what they're getting into. It's been a
and I feel a lot of the times with that, it's like if you have a family referral and it's someone who's been in the business a long time, they're not necessarily helping you. You're kind of just a number. Correct. I've seen that a lot. Like, you're just a number. You just, like, you get it, and then this is what it is. You have no choice. And I've seen that a lot. And it's sad,
it's
definitely something that needs to be worked on. It's really great you guys are doing that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I've had clients that unfortunately, they would say, oh, I wanted to buy this house, but the realtor said, oh, I have to use their bank.
Yes.
Which is so wrong.
It's so wrong. It's horrible, and, I don't want to lose the house. And I'm trying to explain to them that,
Put yourself in a bind. You're in a bad spot.
Exactly. And they did, unfortunately, because at the end of the day, now their interest rate was much higher than I was going to give them. And, they call me after the fact. Like, oh, you were right, but,
you do what you can. You do what you can.
Yes, but for realtors that do that, it's very sad.
It's wrong.
Yeah. It's wrong.
It's wrong.
It is.
I mean, I understand if you have a relationship with someone who's really good, but when someone is already pre-approved and they come prepared from where the bank they're coming from. You shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't have to force them. Yeah,
that's the forcing part is what's bad. You could always recommend someone else and hey, take a look at this. Take a look. At
exactly.
This
like it's always good to get a second opinion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
At the end of the day, it's your choice.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right, and that's
what really
what's
comes
horrible.
down to.
I mean, I
people's choices are being taken away.
Structured loans for these people and told them how to do it, and then happened in a few houses.
But sometimes
in Brooklyn.
you get those people who make you feel like you don't have a choice.
Right.
And it's kind of like, this is how it is, and this is how it's going to be, and you can't go about it any other way. And then you're backed into a corner, and if you don't have the resources around you to really help you, then, you kind of feel stuck.
Yeah, and a lot of people are stuck, and they end up, that's a terrible experience to be able to, buy a house, right? It's like your dream come true, right? The American dream, and then all of a sudden somebody's just kind of like just putting a dark cloud over it.
When it's the biggest transaction of your life,
it's supposed to be fun.
Make it a good experience.
Exactly. It's supposed to be fun, exciting, and that's what we try to do. Like, we make the loan process very smooth, and try to keep the stress off them.
Exactly.
We try
and the agents
and
everybody involved.
Right, yeah, exactly. But it's true. I mean, we really do try to do that. And
I mean, there's been times where the loan itself dies, and then we have to bring it back, and it's an up and down just because there's so many variables. Whether
sometimes it is crazy, or they go and they all of a sudden get a gift from a relative, and you see it in their savings, and it's like, so sometimes it gets a little crazy. But
or buy a car.
Yeah, that too.
And they can't. We have someone closing today. That's exactly what they did. A couple of months ago, they bought a car. Actually, I even forgot to bring that up in the conversation because they bought a car and they didn't have the income was misrepresented. Right. So in a sense, because you can give me all your documentation, you can tell me everything, but if you're telling me you worked here for two years and you didn't, it's going to be verified.
It's going to come up.
It's going to come up.
Exactly.
Why? So it's going to come up. The banks are going to find out.
Yes, and that's what we try to do. What we try to do from the very beginning is we try to send out the verifications and just to make sure we structure the loan correctly before we send it into underwriting.
Yeah, 100%. Because someone could say, "Oh yeah, I work 80 hours," and then all of a sudden you find out they're actually only a 35-hour-a-week employee, not 40.
Absolutely, happens all the time.
Yeah,
all the time
with their overtime and things like that. So.
So it's tough. But
I think.
But you guys do the right thing. You take the time. You have the conversations. You're checking properly before giving the pre-approvals. So,
it's key. It's key. We have to run the DU and everything, and that's we do a lot of work ahead of time to make sure the loan. And I feel like we take a little bit longer in the initial stages, but then once it goes in, it flies. It makes a big difference. That's really the key, I think, for the way we're working.
And it's better to take a little more time before you have a house, because once you have a house in this market, you gotta work fast. It is what it is.
Exactly. If you snooze, you lose. That's it. It's
you got to do your homework beforehand. You got to make it smooth. You don't want the listing agent calling every other day. What's going on? Because it's taking. Sometimes it takes 2-3 weeks to get just the verification of employment.
Right.
So it's like to do that ahead of time is it makes a difference.
It does. Big difference.
Big time.
As we can see.
Yeah, I mean, it's we definitely have come into so many different scenarios. I feel like that the better prepared you are in the beginning, always by far, because things are going to go wrong anyway more often than not, I feel like. But the likelihood is a lot lower. Like we've experienced lightning speed closings now that we're much more heavily invested in the beginting. Way more. Like I know we've always done work in the beginning,
right?
But now we take that extra, time to
so
really,
important.
because the environment after COVID, the way the income has been calculated, things like that, it's a whole different world.
Everything's so different, and everything changes. From one week to the next. You have You never know. So, it's great. It's definitely fun.
Alexis, what else do you want to tell the audience? Anything else you want them to know about you? as far as like, you know, what do you think the stock market, the real estate market is? Yeah, the stock market, whatever you want to comment. It doesn't matter, whatever. Inflation.
It's a free for all day.
But what do you see real estate going? What's your prediction on that? And, you know,
I mean, obviously we see interest rates going up. So when the interest rates go up, your affordability goes down.
Correct, yeah.
A lot of people, so many people are waiting for the market to go down, for the prices of homes to go down.
Right.
But they don't realize the interest rate's going to go up and you're going to end up paying more.
Right.
Exactly.
It's better to buy a home at a higher price when money is cheap.
Exactly.
Than, you know, once they start ticking up, then you might even lose out.
Yes.
And, you know.
My gosh, that's exactly what we say this all the
say it all
time.
the time.
There's scenarios
And time is running out. Like,
Yes.
Absolutely. But you have clients that are trying to negotiate $15,000-$20,000 on a property, which I get. They don't want to make the additional expense, right? And investing into it like that. But if you wait, right, every half a point on your interest rate, it's going to cost you another $50,000.
Yeah.
So you right there in the time that you were negotiating, or
now
you were
your
thinking
interest
about
rate just jumped
now
up.
it jumped up.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
now you're 30.
It's just,
Now you're like, so you're 50.
Yeah, you don't want to
plus-
go 20,000 higher, but now the interest rate's higher, and you're going to go
So now you
50,000
fit-
higher. So
Right.
it's like, does it really
Without
make
even
sense? You have to
realizing.
think about it in the
Exactly.
long run.
But you know what it
And the
is
entire
like.
picture,
That's
right.
why they go
Yeah.
to us because they don't know. They don't. You know, think about that. You know, like the average person wouldn't know that.
Right.
Yeah.
You
no,
know?
they're
But it's
just
real.
seeing prices. They're not
Exactly.
seeing the interest rates and,
No.
and the storm behind it.
Exactly.
You know?
Correct. Because it was a big jump. If you look at the 10-year Treasury now, it is. If you look at the graph, it took a big leap. Visual leap, right?
Yeah.
So because you can say it's at 2 now, it's at 1.95, but sometimes those numbers don't translate. But when you see the difference, like how it was a few months ago,
Yeah.
it's a huge
now.
run. Right now, the rates are in the 4s.
Yeah.
This is the first time I think I actually say it like this.
Right?
The 4s.
In the 4s.
Yeah.
It's true.
I still want to hold on to the 3s. I mean, we still have
Yes.
clients that we're doing everything we can to give them rates in the 3s. But literally, we just give you an idea. We locked a loan a couple of weeks ago. Got a great rate at 3.5. But if I would have locked that loan yesterday, I was looking at the pricing it was at 4.25.
And that's a big difference.
That's
It's a
huge
big difference,
difference.
especially a large loan amount.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So it's a huge impact right now. I just hope that people out there are staying on top of things in terms of like what the bigger picture, the long term, so that when they do see a house and they're negotiating, and also agents. See, you're like well-rounded. You say all the things that we say. So your clients are in good shape, right? They're in good hands.
You have to educate them before because
especially now.
before and then when it's too late.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because now, clients can come and like, oh, what do you mean? My realtor said I could still get a 3%. You know, like, really?
Like, okay, when did you, was that conversation like 2 months ago?
Correct.
Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm quoting rates for people that it sucks, and I get it. Like I had a client where he a referral actually where they got quoted at 3.25 2-3 weeks ago, and when I ran the rate yesterday, it was at 4 1/8. The same everything. This is, by the way, it is a high balance loan, and there's an 800 credit score and everything involved. But it's a high balance loan. They're putting 20% down. I mean, it's really super conform, right? It's a jumbo. It's along the lines of a jumbo, and the rate just through the roof right now. So this man is expecting. I bring him back a lower rate, which at the time, if I would have spoken to him then, I probably would be able to give him like a 3 1/8, right, or 3. But now, I said to him, hey, 4 1/8, go back to the same bank that gave you the 3.25 and ask them where it's at now.
Right.
So we're waiting for that. But that was like 3 weeks ago, and I know the bank that he's going to, so it's going to come back even higher. So, and he has a contract. So this man is up there trying to
figure out where to go.
What rate to use, and he just keeps burning himself. Like the rate keeps going higher. So in the waiting, it's called opportunity risk, right? When you have something else.
100%.
So he lost that opportunity. It's never going to be seen again unless there's a miracle and the rates come back down and we lock it like that. But it's not likely.
And rates, yes, they're high for right now, but they're not.
They're not going to stay like that, right?
No, exactly. Like I tell people my age, like they're like, oh my gosh, they're going up now. Like I don't know, but like
I'm
okay,
gonna buy
ask
a
your
house.
parents.
Exactly.
What was their interest rate?
Listen, guys, I'm older than you. I just said earlier, when I first closed on my house, I got a 7.99. I refinanced people years ago at 14.99.
Wow.
Yeah, that I was taking them out of. So, It's crazy.
It could be worse.
It could be a lot worse.
So
yeah.
don't wait and...
Time is of the essence.
Yeah, don't sit on the fence. Don't sit on the fence, because the longer you sit on the fence, the higher it's going to go. And then you're really going to be up, and you don't know. It could be 7, 8, whatever, years down the line, because you wanted to wait.
And rent is so high.
Oh my gosh, it's insane.
It's everything's going against you.
It's insane.
Yeah. So it's worth buying a home.
Like, I spoke to a girl. She was referred to me. She came with a pre-approval. She's like, I'm only pre-approved for 400. Like, I don't know. Like, I really wanted a high ranch, which doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. But I said, listen, would you consider, like, if it's your starter home, why not at least get a condo?
Right.
It's in your price range for $400,000. You could get something decent. You're not going to have any maintenance or whatever. Obviously you pay the HOA fee, but put the equity into your pocket, not somebody else's.
Right. Exactly.
Why not just settle for the next year or two doing that? Save up your money, because you're not going to have a high payment, and then later down the line, and you never want to go huge your first house sometimes, anyways, because you don't know what to expect. So,
yeah,
right. You've
instead
never
of paying rent,
like put the equity into your own pocket.
Right. Exactly. But people think, but people do think, that they don't have enough money. You know, the whole motto, right? They don't realize you don't need 20% down.
Right.
Yeah.
They
think you have to come up with like $100,000 or something. And it's such a common misconception.
Yes.
But there's ways around it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You could put down 3.5%, 5%, anything in between that.
Yeah.
As long as it's
conventional, you can even do 3%.
Yeah, nothing less than 3% on the conventional side. But yeah, people are still believing that you need 20% down to buy a house, and they stay out of the market and they waste that money at times. I've had situations where someone saved the money, but they're like, I figured I don't have enough, so I spent it.
They just sit on it, but
or
your money
isn't
worse. Meant to sit in the bank. It's not doing anything for you. That's not. It's like putting a coat in a closet. It doesn't do anything. It just sits there. So just wear your coat, do what you got to do, put your money into investments, and then you'll see the return.
Right. Yeah.
You sound more like a loan officer than a real estate agent.
I like to get myself educated.
You did work at Capital One. You did work at a bank. You did work at a bank.
I mean, the mortgage is the biggest portion of it. I could tell you, you want a nice garage or, how many bedrooms you want. But the mortgage is the biggest factor in buying a home. So you have to know that part 100%.
Yeah,
that's the most important.
Have a
at
good
the end of the
baseline
day.
off of absolutely.
Yeah.
And it helps
bedrooms and
your
bathrooms
job.
are nice. That's the fun part.
Exactly.
But we have to get through the mortgage stuff first.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the fun. Looking at the house and figuring things out, what to do. That's really
Deciding.
cool. Yeah. We're all business over here with numbers.
It is fun.
Putting 5 million offers out there because it's crazy right now. But
Yeah, and nobody, everybody's saying. My sister actually is a realtor, and she just had a story yesterday that she put an offer in, they accepted it, and then the woman's like, just get the inspector here. So she said, okay, no problem. Wednesday, I'll have the inspector there. She's like, okay. And then all of a sudden, she stopped calling my sister. And my sister would call her back. No answer. She wouldn't respond. Nothing. All of a sudden, she tells my sister, we can't accept your offer. So my sister's like, well, what do you mean? And she's like, we got a higher offer. So after all that, these people would not accept the offer. And she said, because I have tons of different offers. So, these realtors don't care about people at all. The people, like my sister's client, they're upset. Yeah. They were excited. They thought they had, finally found a house after looking at 30 different houses. And now they're selling it to somebody else.
For 10,000 more, maybe. Or
and not even to counter offer. They wouldn't even give the option.
Can we at least have 24 to 48 hours to get the inspection done? Give me.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Interesting.
It's just very sad.
Yeah.
It's
so
this
gotta
market.
Move quick,
Yeah, and you know what? My sister moved quick. That's the whole thing. She just didn't care. Just
it was. There's different agendas behind. Too many different agendas.
Exactly.
At the same point that line up.
There was definitely something else going on.
And you got to play fair. At the end of the day, because what if all of a sudden your sister has a listing and this agent has a buyer?
Exactly.
You know, like it becomes.
Yes. Everybody knows everybody.
Everyone, yeah. And
Everybody,
it will always come around.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. You have to play fair.
You have to play fair.
I like that. I think we're going to end it on fairness.
Yes.
Well, Alexis, thank you for coming on board and being with us here today.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, if you have any questions, just give us a call anytime.
Any obscure random mortgage question. Throw it to Kim. Regular questions.
Yeah, we know Kim is. Kim. Everyone looks for Kim.
She's like the oracle of mortgages. So. Have you seen that at least, The Matrix?
No, sorry.
She doesn't watch movies. She falls asleep.
She's too busy to watch movies.
That's funny.
We're lucky you. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining us again.
Thank you.
Alexis, if you want to just give out your phone number and
absolutely.
hashtag.
My number 908-967-1444. My Instagram is alexiskearney.homes. You could find me there. I have a lot of educational videos, so check them out. And then any questions, you could always direct message me or just shoot me a text.
All right.
Great.
Thank you, Alexis. And everyone, thank you for watching us today. Please expect us again in another episode of the
Homeroom lending.
Homeroom lending. I'm burned out already. I'm done. I'm not gonna say it again.
Day already.
Well, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.